Hello everybody and welcome to the Dad Mods channel. It's been a few weeks since we had an update on the Charger, and of course the last update, if you recall, was it was obviously having a boost leak. It was only making about 2 pounds of boost. So I've been checking it out. I actually haven't worked on it a bunch, but I checked it out a few times, and eventually I found the boost leak. I kept poking around looking at the vacuum hoses, and let me show you. So everybody suspected that it was an issue with the blow-off valve, which is right down there. But I looked at all the vacuum routing hoses and everything for the blow-off valve and the blow-off valve itself. I felt the piston and everything seemed good. The only thing I could see on the blow-off valve, since this isn't the red one, this is like the black one, which I opted with because it's quieter. Yeah, I know, that was back in the day. In the first iteration of this blower, noise actually meant something. Anyway, so it's not the boost controller. It wasn't the boost controller. So I was actually going to pull off the bumper. So I was getting this guy. Pulling off the bumper in this car is not easy. Definitely had cars that had easier bumper, and I was hoping that I could just take this black panel off to get access, but I couldn't. So remembering that the last time there was a boost leak, it came from this area, I decided to poke around in there, and I'm not sure if I'm able to show you guys, but so it's just this where it connects. I'll pull the bumper off and then we'll see it. Never pulled the bumper off one of these things, but luckily Project ZL1 has a little tutorial that on how to remove the bumper on one of these cars, so that actually helped a little bit. I mean, obviously it's not off yet, but at least I know what to do somewhat. Okay, so while I was in the process of taking off the bumper, which is pretty involved, I just started realizing that maybe I can do this without taking off the bumper. If I just take off this assembly, I think I'll be able to just slide that right back in. So that's what I'm going to try now, so I can hopefully avoid doing the bumper. Okay, I'm slipping it off, and you can see it's this joint down here, and this is probably evidence that it's all loose. I'll take this part off too. Okay, you can see this guy, and I'm not unhooking this because Pites has it like taped down and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so we're going to take that one off, that clip down there, or that clamp. So the issue is this clamp right here, and this has been the issue before in the past, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to secure this better in there. Hopefully I can actually get to it without removing the bumper. I'm not 100% sure if I will or not, but I will try, because that'll save me a ton of time. But it's this, you can see this little clamp, it's an odd shape thing, and this is how they have to get it to work with these cars. Without chopping anything up, so it just sneaks between these two posts, and it's not wide enough for like a full one like this, so they just make it like this, and then that's an odd transition, so it's hard to seal, and that's why we keep running into problems right here, because this is, I mean, look at this is a weird hose. It's just odd. And I just realized I can lift this up and show you the issue, so you can see right. You get an angle on that. Right there, it slipped off. So I'm just trying to get it to slip back on. And I got it out. This is the culprit. So you can see the boot itself looks mostly fine, but it's and this is actually super strong material. So the issue is not so much this thing, it's these clamps, and clamping it at an oval. Oops. Clamping it at an oval is just never going to be good. I mean, the tension isn't uniform, so yeah, that just kind of sucks. So that's, besides the intake being on the top, which nobody likes, that's the other bad design thing from the Procharger kit here. But again, it's the only way to make it work without having to modify the car, so I don't want to necessarily call it a bad design, because there might not have been another way to design it, because I don't know how else they could get through here. So You can see right there though. And that's what it looks like. So the other thing of note, since I have this all off, besides that this boot looks good, I looked at the throttle body and everything looks pretty clean, so that's a good thing. There's no excessive carbon buildup. I mean, there is carbon buildup. There's always going to be, ouch. There's always going to be carbon buildup, but it's not like insane. So that's a good thing. So just to give another little update, I got the clamp in place. I have the boot in place. I do not have the clamp on yet, but the boot's on there nicely. So I just got to get the clamp on there perfectly and then tighten it down strong. Then try to get the rest of it on, but I think I can do this without pulling off the bumper, so that's the good thing. Okay, I think I finally got it on. Got the thing in the back tightened up. I think it's pretty good, so now just the process of trying to get all this on, and then we'll be done. Oh, I gotta put back the bumper portion, but yeah, I was able to do this without pulling the bumper off, so yay me. Okay, man, this took a very long time finessing, but I finally got this clamp on. Everything's tight. Make sure this is routed well away from the pulleys. And I'll do the final connection and then hook everything else back up, and then we'll be set to at least see if that was the problem, which I'm 99% sure it was because it was off. Okay, got it all done. Everything's hooked up, everything's tight. These of course don't hold pressure, so I don't need to be as tight, but these are really, really nice and tight. So everything's nice and tight, got that hooked up. So just to clarify, on that oval one, the corner on the inside wasn't hooked up to the intercooler all the way. It had like a little gap like that, which would probably be enough to give the exact symptoms that we had. It was only making like 2 pounds of boost, very little power, and you could hear the blow off not blowing off because it wasn't building any pressure. So yeah, I mean, based on that should have given us all the symptoms that we had. So right now I'm just charging it up because of course it was dead because it's been sitting here for a week. So let me charge it up and then we'll fire it up and see if we got boost. I think we will. All right, we're all set. Got the charger on there. I'm gonna crank it up and then let it warm up for a moment, give it a couple revs. It should be quite obvious that the blow-off's working or not because it sounded just totally different before. So let's check this out. Well, that was rather uneventful, so the battery's dead. I even got the charger plugged in, but it is not enough. So I'm gonna let this charge up and come back and fire this guy up. Okay, so I've let it charge a little bit. Let me look at the voltage. Still at 12.7, but it'll probably be enough. Let's try to fire it up again. Okay, it wouldn't start up, so I'm using my extra battery that I have here. I do keep this battery on a tender so it stays fresh. So we're gonna try this again with some extra power. Okay, it is the next day. I couldn't get it charged enough last night before it got dark, and you know I don't like driving this thing around the neighborhood at night, so just waited till today. So it is fully charged now. We're on storage mode on the charger. I went ahead and charged both batteries at the same time. Hopefully that worked. I don't see why it wouldn't. So I'm gonna crank it up now and make sure it's holding boost. I'm pretty confident it will because that was off and now it's hooked up. So let's see how this goes. All right, well, we know it works, which it worked before. So the thing to do now is just gonna be, I'm gonna take it off the jacks and just let it idle on the ground, and then I'll rev it a few times. For some reason, I'm not sure if this angle is bad or not. It looks like the angle is barely anything, but it just scares me to run my cars on an incline excessively. The angle is barely any, but I know there's like a pickup for the oil, and it just scares me. But that means I gotta move this truck, my beautiful Nissan here, which I have not taken to the dealership to get that check engine light addressed yet. Once I found out it wasn't a big deal, I wasn't that worried about it. It's still on, but I gotta, when I called the dealership, they basically said they couldn't get it in until like next week, and then I would have to leave it there for a few days. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, that's kind of crazy. So I was like, no, I don't really want to get rid of my truck for like 4 or 5 days for like a BS check engine light. Was hoping it was something they could address like while I'm there or like in one day, but I guess I'm just gonna have to find a time where I can give them the car for a while. Then they don't want to give me a rental, so hence why I need this guy to be running right to take the truck in so I can have something to drive. All right, so now I'm just gonna take it off these jack stands. I didn't change the oil yet, which is something I gotta do, but I just wanna make sure it's running right. Alrighty, I think we're good to go. Check this out. These lizards love my cars. Where he's gonna turn around and bite me. Alright, I'm gonna fire it up again and let it idle for a moment, and then try to make sure it's making boost. All right, so now I'm gonna give it some throttle and we should hear a blow-off valve noise. So I definitely heard a blow-off, and before I get my neighbors all pissed off at me, I'm gonna go take this on a little spin. All right, I'm gonna try to find a little spot where I can just give it a little bit of boost to see if I can get past 2 pounds. That was weird. 0 boost. Before it was getting 2 psi, now it's 0. So I don't, oh my god, I don't know what the hell. Okay, well that was extremely disappointing. I thought it was gonna work. I was like very certain that that was everything and it would be great now. Oh, maybe it slipped back off again. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. I made this super tight too. Jesus. Okay, well, there you have it. It was my crappy job. This was crazy tight though. I made it really tight. How did that possibly come off? Trying to see if this one slipped off too. I'm not sure if it did. I don't think it did actually. So technically if I just fix this, that should be it. So we're gonna try that. The throttle body needs one of those beads around it. This is the stock one that's designed, not for design for boost, so doesn't have any provisions to hold a boot with a bunch of pressure, but it'll work. Alright, looks like the inside boot didn't get messed up. It was just this, which is very surprising. So I'm going to make sure I get these tighter this time. There, I'm pretty confident that's not going anywhere. Only one way to find out. Go back on another trip. I'm so glad I found something obvious. I was worried it was going to be like, I was going to pop the hood and there's going to be absolutely nothing wrong. I'd be left scratching my head. Alright, we're going to try and make another pass. Or just get on it for a moment and see if we can get some boost this time. Please give me boost. Boost gods, boost. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was boost. I'm gonna lit up the tires. Try that again. Jesus Christ, man. Whoa! This thing is nasty fast when it's working right. That was nasty. Oh man, God, I missed this thing. I'm gonna take this thing to the track on Friday. I got to. If the track's open, I'm going. So hopefully someone can meet me there, because I have some need for speed, man. This thing has been broken for like a week or whatever, 2 weeks, and I'm missing that power. I forgot what it's like to have this much power. The thing's all over the road. It's like hopping from lane to lane. Oh man, that's crazy. God, I am happy. This thing is working. Full boost. And I fixed it myself. Not that it was like a big problem, but I fixed it nonetheless. So very glad to have this guy working. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go to the track on Friday. We'll see if it's open Friday. If it's not, then the next time I'll take it. Even with this transmission, I'm just tired of not driving the car and racing and stuff, so I'd rather just do that and break it if I break it. Which that stuff is, I think the transmission is in and it's all getting ready to go. But as you know, for the transmission swap on this, it has to be like it takes a kit from Hellraiser Performance, the HP 70 to HP 90 swap. So it all takes a little bit of effort. So, but anyway, I'm really glad that this thing is working. It was just like a bane in my existence, and it was kind of depressing, honestly. But this thing is so damn fast when it's running full boost. Like I couldn't even make a full pull in any gear because it would just spin like crazy. So that's kind of how I remember it, so that's good. All right, so that's gonna be it for now. The Scat is back, she's working, and I'm gonna go to the track on Friday. Hopefully gonna put it on a tire and run some quick times. But yeah, I'm gonna drive this car a lot more often, because I don't know why I haven't been. I just haven't been. Probably partially because it's been broken, and I don't know why else, but I love this thing. Forgot how fast it was. It's funny. All right, be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.
Just a pilot in his cockpit seated. Black leather on his ass, keep a hustler heated. Weed is engaged in the pavement. Brother escorts like I'm seeking arrangement. Push the gas, escalate the gauges, escalate hits on the cam girls' pages, blazes, and hit 'em with a script full of